All right. A Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachak, Wadash, and double honors unto the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and peace and as well as the men that taught them, and peace and blessings to Joachim Model, who pushing his word with all truth and sincerity, and as well as to you believers out there who believe in on the gospel. And it's the brother Quara Abad from the GMS Houston camp. And real briefly, I want to go into another lesson. Here should be a quick hit. Um, doing a little meditating here this morning, and just going to the power of this word that the Lord have blessed us to speak. And the impact that it actually have on the world. You know, and although people, when they look at us as the Hebrew Israelites, though they like to try to demean us and call us black Hebrew Israelites, which Israelite could look like any nation as long as your bloodline go back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and you believe in its truth. But nevertheless, people look at this work that we're doing and would deem it as insignificant, right? As if we wasting our time, right? It's not really going to change anything. And a lot of people say that, those of Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans, when they look for a change in the earth, who gonna help our people, they'll look at us and say, well, y'all not doing nothing. All y'all doing is going on the streets and talking about the Bible. You see, so when people see what we doing out down the highways and hedges uploading on YouTube, they would consider that as insignificant, as if it don't have no type of impact on the world. But when you really consider this truth, this gospel, in every way possible, what we saying, what the Lord have blessed us with this information on the things that we understand, right? What we are bringing forth is literally changing the course of the world, man. And look, I'm gonna say this, whether people believe it or not, and if they don't believe it now, you gonna believe it. You see, when things start playing out even more, you gonna believe it. So what we doing, don't take that as no light thing. And this word, this insight that the Lord have blessed us with, have literally been sent down from the heavens, and he chose it to enter into our particular spirits, man. And then he gave us the utterance to go out there and speak. And now from speaking, starting with the Eldaba Bivens, right? King Masha, High Priest Ariel, Elder High Priest Yaikwab, our apostles, elders, bishops, apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone, man. And these men went out there with that true gospel, or like Yahweh Shai said, this gospel, emphasis on this. But this gospel, once the apostles, after the message was refined, as the years went on from the old school, the Lord gave our apostles and bishops more understanding on the prophecies, more, or should I say, a heavy portion of the spirit was sent down to those men. Now we're able to understand everything. The MOTB, Israel gonna look like all nations, so on and so forth. Esau, the so-called white man. Now everything could be brought out in its true form, and therefore matter of fact, let's start with this. Putting that energy and these words into the earth is gonna have to change the world. Let's get Isaiah 55 real quick, because the Lord gonna say the same thing. Before we get the precepts, I just looked at this, wanted to see what that phrase mean, right? The course of the world is changing. That's what I typed in. So this is an AI overview. It says the course of the world is changing means the overall trajectory of global events, societies, and systems is undergoing significant transformation, often driven by factors like technological advancements, political shifts, climate change, and evolving social norms. Especially the world, it says, it's essentially the world is not static and is constantly evolving in various ways, but in the time of the end, it's different now. And the thing is, yeah, the world evolved in various ways and times in the past, but it took time. Now the world's about to change quickly. It have been changing quickly, and it's about to change even more quickly. You know why? Because it's all because of this word's sake, man. This message that we have. Let's get this real quick in Isaiah 55. The Lord gonna say the same thing. It's Isaiah 55 and verse 10. I'm gonna start at 10, but the point at 11. This Isaiah 55 and verse 10. It says, "For as the rain cometh down," and you know what this real we not fortune tellers, but we know the future. When you think about that, that's a spiritual power in itself. We know the future. We can tell people America will be destroyed by ICBM missiles. The thing is, that's going to literally happen. We can tell people the son of God will come back one day on a UFO and beam up so-called, well, because I was about to say so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, but according to Revelation 7 and 9, you gonna have people who look like all nations, but they're gonna be Israelites because we scattered everywhere. The point is, we could tell people that in the future, you're gonna have the Son of God come back standing on a UFO, beaming the Israelites up in UFOs. As crazy as that sound, it's gonna happen. We know the future, man. That is a spiritual power in itself. But let's read this. It says, Isaiah 55 and 10, it says, "For as the rain cometh down, and the snow from heaven, and returneth not thither, but watereth the earth, and maketh it bring forth and bud, that it may give seed to the sower and bread to the eater," right? Now, I like how the Lord, like in scriptures, the Lord, before he gets to his point, he'll give us an analogy, right? He'll kind of explain something first using worldly um examples. And when I say worldly examples, things that surround us as far as water, fire, things that we know that we around, right? So he always used worldly examples to paint a picture, and then after that he'll make his point. That's why I love, hey, when you get into the scriptures, the Lord, he'll paint a picture, then he'll make his point. So right here in verse 10, he painting a picture on how his word gonna be when it go out into the earth, but he using water. Now let's read this again, because just as this water come down and it do what it do, and it don't go back up. Soon as water come down, it don't bounce back up like a boomerang. No, it come down on earth and it do what it's supposed to do. Let's see why he brought this up. This Isaiah 55 and 10. It says, "For as the rain cometh down, and the snow from heaven, and return not thither," and what is snow? That's just frozen water. So when water come down, it says, "and return not thither," it don't go back up. But what it do when it come down, it says, "But watereth the earth, and maketh it bring forth and bud." Right? You have vegetables growing, flowers growing, things. When water come down to get into the soil and things produce, it bring forth, right? It make things happen. Therefore, it says that it may give seed to the sower and bread to the eater. The reason he painted that picture is to say this. Verse 11, "Well, so shall my word be that goeth forth out of my mouth." Just like that water, and in the spiritual, the Lord likened this truth unto water. So just as that water, that rain come down, and it don't bounce back up like a bouncy ball or a boomerang, but it go into the water, into the soil, and it get in that soil. It do what it's supposed to do, and then it produces life. Things come from that water coming down. The point is, the Lord said, "Well, so shall my word be that goeth forth out of my mouth." Who is the mouth of the Lord? The prophets. "It shall not return unto me void." So as the prophets out there speaking his word, spiritually, water coming down, guess what? It shall not return unto me void. Just like that water, it don't bounce back up. No, it come down and it stay down. What the Lord said, when his word being spoken, it ain't gonna bounce back as like a voided check. No, it's gonna come down. It says, "But it shall not return unto me void, but it shall accomplish that which I please, and it shall prosper in the thing whereto I sent it." Just like that water come down and it brings forth, the Lord said the same thing for his word. When it be spoken, guess what's gonna happen? It's gonna bring forth. These things will happen. As the word is spoken, these things gonna have to take place. If not, the Heavenly Father lying. Him, Yahweh Shai, they lying then. If it ain't gonna happen. The point is, as we speak in this word, And this is why it's so different in these times that we living in, because like in Second Peter the third chapter, how it says, since the beginning, people always said, y'all been talking about the Lord coming back, right? Or since the beginning, for example, if we start seeing earthquakes and we'll say, see, this the end of the world, the Lord said it's gonna be earthquakes, you'll have people in the world say, man, it's been earthquakes since the beginning of the world. Man, it's been wars and rumors of wars and famine since the beginning of the world. That's true. But when have, in any time in world history, that it have all those things have taken place, famines, wars, rumors of wars, pestilences, earthquakes in diverse places. All those things have been happening since the world began. But when have all those things ever happened at the same time? Esau getting exposed, the so-called white man, Israel waking up to who we are as a people. Not just that, the MOTB on mainstream media, the one of the last major prophecies, and what else? World War III also being talked about right now. Not just that, cherries being shown. America allies are separating. I mean, America, yeah, allies and enemies are against them. The point is, all those things have happened before the world since the world began. Famines and wars, rumors of wars, but not at the time. World War III, MOTB. The point is, now everything is here. See, the prophets of old, they didn't talk. Jeremiah wasn't talking about the MOTB because it wasn't there yet. Now we here to where everything is laid out. All the prophecies are laid out. Therefore, now that the Lord have us here in the last time speaking it, now that we saying everything together, guess what? Now what's gonna finally happen? I got a quick precept. It's gonna finally happen because never in world history have the prophets spoke all the prophecies at once together. No, back then want to talk about a famine, then want to talk about this and want to talk about that, but not all at the same time. You see, not all at the same time. We talking about them all at the same time, which means it shall not return unto him void, but it shall accomplish that what we saying. Let's get this real quick. When the time is going to happen, because everything is laid out now. This is Ezekiel 12 and verse 21. It says, and the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, what is that proverb that ye have in the land of Israel? Saying the days are prolonged and every vision faileth. And that's what a lot of our people think, that what we saying, it ain't gonna happen. Or if it do, it won't happen in our lifetime. Well, look what the Lord got to say. Verse 23. Well, tell them, therefore, thus saith Yahweh power, I will make this proverb to cease, and they shall no more use it as a proverb in Israel. So, in other words, the Lord he about to shut a lot of people's mouths. It says, but say unto them, the days are at hand, and check this out, and the effect of every vision. Keyword every. Keyword is every. Again, the prophets of old, even that. Granted, they had the dreams, but they ain't going to them. Like if I was to ask Daniel, if Daniel himself was to be in this room right now with me, and I say, Daniel, in Nebuchadnezzar's dream, I know you said the head of gold and this and that, but tell me in detail, what's the feet and the toes? Daniel wouldn't be able to tell us. He wouldn't be able to tell us, oh, that's America, NATO, and the EU. No, nope. We able to do that because now everything is here. We ain't just talking about one prophecy or the Babylonians go come in or the Persians. No, we talking every single prophecy that's left. That's what the Lord have us out there speaking. And therefore, what we started with Isaiah 55, if we speaking it, what have to happen? Just like that water, it come down and do what it do. As we speaking it, it have to do what it's supposed to do. Now that everything is ready is the point. In times past, all the prophecies have never been ready. Even when John the Baptist got the vision of the MOTB, it wasn't ready. They ain't had the technology yet. It wasn't ready. Now it's in people's hands and heads, buying and selling. You got the missiles. They won't have to wait on Oppenheimer and to get the technology to split an atom. No, they already in the silos. We just need the button to be pressed. We don't need to wait on wars and rumors of wars. All those things are happening. So therefore it says, Verse 23, tell them therefore, thus saith Yahweh power, I will make this proverb to cease, and they shall no more use it as a proverb in Israel. But say unto them, the days are at hand, and the effect of every vision. The point is every vision. For there shall no more be any vain vision nor flattering divination within the house of Israel. Meaning what? The time's coming when nobody go be able to say what they want to as far as what the prophecies mean. For example, Bishop Nate, when once upon a time he said it ain't gonna be no Jacob's trouble. Why you think he changing it now? Because it's clear hard times are coming. Another example, Bishop Nate and them saying they said it changed it a couple times, but the MOTB was all forms of sin. And one year he said the MOTB was an embargo. Now he talking about it could be a digital system. Why he changing it? Because the Lord is in prophecy. Once what the real prophets are saying start to happen, everybody else gonna shut up. Verse 24, for there shall be no more any vain vision. Nobody gonna be able to say what they want. Or Captain Katazak from ISUPK when he said, well, Jacob's trouble is gay. Still to this day, I have no idea like what that means. Anyway, it ain't gonna be no more vain vision or what, nor flattering divination. You got these teachers just telling their congregation things that sound good. No, it's here. It says within the house of Israel, for I am Yahweh, and I will speak. Check this out. And I will speak, and how he speak by the prophets. And the word that I shall speak shall come to pass. It shall be no more prolonged. For in your days, O rebellious house, will I say the word and will perform it. The point is, if we send all the prophecies that's left, all of them, the Lord got to perform it. And let me get this real quick. I'm gonna get one quick one. I'm gonna get 2nd Ezra 6 because it's something that the Lord told Ezra about the word of the end. And this is what made me want to title with this, that this message is changing the course of the world. Because as the Lord was telling Ezra some of the things that was gonna happen in the end of the world, the ground started shaking. And the Lord told Ezra, yeah, you know why the ground's shaking? Because it's nervous. It's nervous. Because the earth understand that when this message go forth, it's going to change the course of the world. That's how heavy and powerful this word is, man. Without us picking up guns, right? We do have an army, but it's a spiritual army, of priests, and prophets. But we don't have to do that, and try to take down. No, all we got to do is just prophesy, as small as it may seem and insignificant as it may be. All we have to do is continue to upload videos on YouTube, talk about the Bible, and go out to the highways and hedges, put garments on, record ourselves talking about the Bible. As small as that may seem, that's all we have to continue doing. Hey, what Apostle Paul said, it said that the prophets are unknown but well known. People act like they don't know us or know what's going on. They know exactly why we out there. But let's get this real quick. This Habakkuk 2:1. It says, I will stand upon my watch and set me upon the tower, and I will watch to see what he will say unto me and what I shall answer when I am reproved. And the Lord answered, and this Habakkuk, he had to be on his watch just like us. It says, and the Lord answered me and said, write the vision. What's the vision? That's the prophecies. So the prophets of old wrote the visions, right? What's the next step? It says, write the vision. The next step, it says, and make it plain upon tables. That's why we here. And this is why these other camps, which they can't get when spiritual men speak, they can't get it. When the apostle Tahar, he'll often say, we know more than the prophets of old. And they'll say, man, so you know more than Jeremiah? You know more than Ezekiel? As if that's a proud statement. But if you take time and just shut up and think about what the man's saying, you will get it. The prophets of old, yes, we know the Lord dealt with them, man. We know they had visions and dreams. But when you read that, when they had dreams or visions, they didn't even know what it meant. Again, Daniel, when you go to Daniel 7, let's go to Daniel 2. And Nebuchadnezzar, he said, and Nebuchadnezzar, this head of gold, you are this head of gold. So Daniel knew he was in the head of gold. But if I was to ask Daniel who will be the arms and the chest of silver, he couldn't tell me. If I was to ask Daniel, well, who will be the stomach and the thighs of brass? He couldn't say, well, that's gonna be Alexander the Great. It didn't happen yet. The point is, why do we know more than the prophets? Because they got the visions of old, and life and time played out. So now we here, and to us, that's history now, right? So see, the prophets of old, what they was looking for in the future, some of those things is history to us or is happening. So that's why we're able to go back and say, this is what he was talking about. This is what he was talking about. This is the time period. This is the person right here. This was the little horn. That's why, going back to Habakkuk 2, and the Lord answered me and said, write the vision. The prophets of old wrote the visions. Next step, it says, and make it plain upon tables. That's why we here. We taking an ancient book and making this ancient book be easily understood in modern times. That's what's happening. And what's the next step after that? After we make this book be understood, or the prophecies in this book easy to be understood, what's next? It says, and the Lord answered me and said, write the vision. Next, and make it plain upon tables. Next, that he may run that readeth it, so the message could spread. This word could spread. That is the point. For the vision, the prophecies, right, or the message for the vision is yet. I might put this for the thumbnail. I might put this. This might be my thumbnail message right here. It might be my thumbnail. Is this message changing the world? But it says, this is the point. Habakkuk 2 and 3. For the vision is yet for an appointed time. Keyword appointed. Let's see what that means. Appointed time. Quick Google definition. It says a time or place decided beforehand or designated. So it says, for the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end, where we at? At the end. It says, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. How is the word speaking? Not just by the prophet saying it. How is the word speaking? Because it's not just us saying it now, but the Lord giving us tangible proof to show that it's happening in the world. For example, you go back to the 90s or early 2000s, say if the apostles, were saying that the MOTB is the C-hip. They didn't have as much proof to prove it as they do now. For example, you didn't have as many people, and it wasn't on mainstream media that people was getting C-hips in their head, C-hips in their hand. No, that started happening a lot in these times. Why? Because now it's speaking. World War III, yeah, it was always World War III talks, but why is World War III talk and missiles being spoken about almost daily or weekly? Because we in that time. We can give videos to prove what we saying, articles to prove what we saying, going to certain documents, whatever it may be, to prove what we saying. That's how I speak, and the Lord giving tangible proof, and he's showing it in the earth. It ain't just words no more. It's happening. And let's get that 2 Esdras 2 after this, because again, even the earth itself was going to be shaken up from the hearing of this word. Habakkuk 2 and 3. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry. Let's get this in 2 Esdras 6. I'm gonna get it in the GNT. And you know what's cool about this? Now that I'm even thinking about it, the Lord, see right here, it says the signs of the end, right? The signs of the end. So it's giving him signs of the end. Now, in the same chapter, it's fire, because it's talking about the signs of the end. And you go up, 2, 3, 4 verses, it's talking about Esau end. The end of Esau, the so-called white man, as we would know it in his modern time. So as it says that Esau was going to be the end of the world and we was going to rule next, when you continue reading 2 Esdras 6 from verse 7 on down, after it says that Esau was going to be the end of the world, it gives signs of things that was going to take place as Esau's world was coming to an end. Right? Let's read it. And the point I want to get is that even when Yahushua, because this Yahushua speaking to Esdras right here, in the chariot, Yahushua was in a chariot talking to Esdras right here. You see? And we're going to read it. It's going to prove itself. But when Yahushua started telling Esdras, let's just read it. Things at the end, come on, man. It started shaking up. Let's read it. This 2 Esdras 6 and verse 7 in the GNT. It says, Right. Second Ezra 6 and 7 in the GNT. Then I asked, this Ezra speaking, then I asked, how long a period of time will divide the ages? When will the first age end and the next age begin? Now, when you go into this, Ezra's wanted to know when we gonna rule, man. When are we gonna stop being in captivity and when we gonna rule as Israelites? Right? It says he answered, so the Lord answered and said, the interval will be no longer than between Abraham and Abraham. He was the grandfather of both Jacob and Esau. When they were born, Jacob was holding Esau's heel. Esau represents the end of this age, and Jacob represents the beginning of the new age. So when the so-called white man fall, the Israelites gonna rule. It says, so if Jacob's hand is in the beginning and Esau's heel is the end, do not try to find a space in between. Hey, in other words, ain't nobody gonna rule. Ain't nobody else other than the Israelites gonna rule after that. You see? I'm just saying that, but it says, now check this out. Signs of the end, verse 11. Check this out. It says the signs of the end. So there's Ezra's replying. It says, Lord and Master, I said, please hear my request. On that night earlier, you showed me some of the signs of the end. Now please show me the rest. Check this out. Stand up, he said. So the Lord is speaking to him. Stand up, he said, and you will hear a very loud voice. And this is the Lord speaking to Ezra, ultimately from a chariot. But it says, if the place, now check this out, if the place where you are now standing is violently shaken while the voice is speaking, don't be afraid. Now check this out. I think this is so fire. It says, let's start again. It says, stand up, he said, and you will hear a very loud voice. This second Ezra 6 and 13 in the GNT. If the place where you are standing is violently shaken, so if the earth starts shaking, right? It says, while the voice is speaking, don't be afraid. This is why. It says, because the message will be about the end of the world. Now, I want to stop there. So the Lord was telling Ezra things that was going to happen in the end of the world. And he said, look, if the ground starts shaking, don't be scared because those things are going to happen in the end, not in your time. It's going to happen in the end. Check it out. It says the message will be about the end of the world and the foundations of the world will understand. This is what we was talking about in Isaiah 55. Just like that rain come down, that water, and then get into the ground, it don't bounce back up like a boomerang. It come down and do what it's supposed to do. It changed things. The same thing for this word. The Lord says, so shall my word be. When it go out, it changed things. And what the Lord was saying right here, the earth felt that, for lack of better words. Second Ezra 6 and 13 GNT, stand up, he said, and you will hear a very loud voice. If the place where you are standing is violently shaken while the voice is speaking, don't be afraid. Because the message will be about the end of the world, and the foundations of the world will understand that the voice is speaking about them, and they will tremble and quake because they know that they will undergo a change when the end comes. Going back to the title, our message is literally changing the course of the world, man. You see that? Let's get this real quick. I'm gonna go back to that. I want to read that one more time. But Yahawashi, his statement right here backs up that. What we saying is changing the world. Matthew 24 and verse 14. And this gospel, keyword this, what we talking about. It says, and this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations. What's a witness? Somebody who's seen something or heard something. So when this message spread to the four corners, when people see it and or heard it, guess what? And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations. And what's next? And then shall the end come. When this true gospel go out in its purest form, it's going to bring forth the end of the world. Think about what this truth, let's get this real quick. Matter of fact, I think it's in Second Ezra 6. Think about what this truth have done. It all in a short period of time, it exposed the so-called white man as he was hiding. It exposed him. It let us know that America is Babylon the Great. It let us know that the Heavenly Father, his son, a so-called dark-skinned man, he only coming for the Israelites. We found out we Israelites. You see, let us know about the sea hip, so on and so forth. All these things that's about to take place. But let's get this real quick. This 2 Ezra 6:28. It says, as for faith, it shall flourish. Corruption shall be overcome, and the truth, right? And the truth which have been so long without fruit shall be declared. And that's the time we're in now. This gospel, which have been so long without fruit, now is finally being declared. And now that it is being declared, it's changing the world, man. Things are happening. Look, hard times are coming because, not because we saying it, one, because it's written. But the thing is, we saying what's written. So it's coming because the prophets are saying it, man. It says, and this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations, and then shall the end come. So this word is changing the world, man. Let's read this one more time. 2 Ezra 6 and verse 13 in the GNT. It says the signs of the end. It says, stand up, he said, and you will hear a very loud voice. If the place where you are standing is violently shaken while the voice is speaking, don't be afraid. The message will be about the end of the world, and the foundations of the world will understand. See, the Lord creation understand what's going on. The people in the creation, they don't get it. You know how it says, like it's saying Job, look at the animals for an example, right? Because they'll tell you what's going on. Like they migrate in certain areas if they know the weather about to be bad. But how much more the earth itself? Hey, the scriptures even say the earth rising up against Esau in these times. So you don't think the spirit of the Lord creation understand is about to undergo a change? Look, if we feel it in the spirit, you don't think the Lord tapped into his creation as well? You see? Come on, man. It says, if the place where you are standing is violently shaken while the voice is speaking, don't be afraid. Because the message will be about the end of the world. So see, everything Ezra was being told, it was for it was meant to be played out in our time, just like Habakkuk. At the end, it shall speak and not lie. Now, right here, the Lord telling Ezra, look, when you hear all these things, you don't need to be scared. You know why? Because it ain't going to happen in your time. It's going to happen in the end. Guess what we at? In the end. It says the message will be about the end of the world, and the foundations of the world will understand that the voice is speaking about them. They will tremble and quake because they know that they will undergo a change when the end comes, man. And guess what? Why would it undergo a change? Because this gospel of the kingdom have now spread across the four corners, man. And now we're about to see this thing play out. What we have been saying, the apostles for all these years, we about to finally see it play out. Matter of fact, let me get this. And it's going to play out for the better. I ended on this. It's Wisdom of Solomon 6 and verse, I'll start at 20. Wisdom of Solomon 6 and 20 says, therefore, the desire of wisdom bringeth to a kingdom. Now, not only is what we saying bringing an end to this world, but it's bringing a beginning to ours. See, it's not only, man, that's so heavy. Just speaking his word is changing the world, but it's bringing in a whole, I guess, paradigm shift. Ain't what I'm going to use. But it's go like this Sirach 10, because of unrighteous dealings, the kingdom gonna be translated from one people to another, man. We speaking Yahushua coming into existence. Think about everything we saying. It's like we speaking it into existence because it's gonna come because we saying it. Again, ultimately because it's written and the Lord is gonna make it happen. But what's gonna trigger the Lord making it happen in the earth? Or should I say, what's going to trigger, the prophecies to happen? The prophet speaking it, according to Ezekiel 12, according to what Yahushua just said. When the prophet speak it, that's going to ignite these things in the finally taking place. Look, matter of fact, let me see. I think the brother Nasi posted it. Let me get this real quick. This is Isaiah 46 and 10. It says, declaring the end from the beginning. That is the Heavenly Father, right? Declaring the end from the beginning. And from ancient times, the things that are not yet done, saying, my counsel shall stand and I will do it my pleasure. This is the point. What we seeing now, going through now, been set up since the beginning. What is everything been set in place since the beginning? But why didn't the MOTB come in 400 BC? You see? Because the prophets went that to speak. And now that we saying everything, that was going to trigger these things and they're finally taking place, man. It's been set. It just had the one play out and now be spoken. Now it could take place. Let me get this one too while we here. Isaiah 42, 44, and 26. That confirmeth the word of his servant and performeth the counsel of his messengers. See? That saith to Jerusalem, thou shalt be inhabited, and to the cities of Judah, you shall be built. That's it. But let's go back to this, because what we saying and the work we doing not only go benefit us as Israelites, but it's going to benefit the world. Craig, not just the city, right? But the world. It says, Wisdom of Solomon 6:20. Therefore, the desire of wisdom bringeth to a kingdom. So what we saying go bring in a new world. It says, if you are delight, be then in thrones and scepters, O ye kings of the people, then honor wisdom that you may reign forevermore. Now check this out. I wanted to start there because it's talking about if we want to rule, focus on wisdom, what we doing and what we saying right now, right? But just to show the message of the prophets is going to be a benefit to the whole world. I'm talking about to people, to animals, to the elements, whatever it may be, to the whole world. Our message go benefit everybody in the end, man. Let's read this verse 24 real quick and I'll end it. Wisdom of Solomon 6:24, it says, but the multitude of the wise, let's stop there. Who's the multitude of the wise? Starting with I was about to, Yahushua, ultimately, King David, but on earth right now, that would be your prophets. And a part of that would be those who believe on Yahweh Bashim Yahushua through the prophet's word. As Yahushua said it, he also prayed for those who believe on him through what the prophet's saying. See, the prophets are like a mediator between Yahweh Bashim Yahushua and the Israelites. You know how Yahushua is the mediator between us and the Father? Well, the prophets are like a mediator for the Israelites to Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, But it says, the point is, that's the multitude of the wise, those who have this truth. Now check this out. It says, verse 24, but the multitude of the wise is the welfare of the world. Let's see what welfare means. Quick Google definition. It says welfare means the health, happiness, and fortunes of a person or a group. So ultimately, this word that we speaking, yes, it's bringing in bad times, but at the end of that, it's going to be a benefit to everybody, man. It's going to be a benefit to everybody, especially after that 1,000 years of captivity in the kingdom that the heathens going to have to serve. Once Esau be taken out the way, oh yeah, we're going to be chilling. They still going to be serving us. We're going to be chilling. But what all that's going to start from? See, when the kingdom of heaven here, Proverbs 29:2, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. Why would the people be rejoicing everything? Because they live in a righteous society. But the point is, how did all that begin? By what we doing right now in America. Yahushua said the kingdom don't come with observation, it's in us. So everybody rejoicing in the future all go stem from what we doing right now on the highways and hedges and posting on YouTube. As crazy as that sound, but look, Wisdom of Solomon 6:24, but the multitude of the wise is the welfare of the world, and a wise king is the upholding of the people. You see, I end it right there. I see the brother got one. This is Ecclesiastes 7:8. Better is the end of a thing than the beginning thereof, and a patient in spirit is better than a proud in spirit. That's it, man. You see? So again, as the title say, our message is literally changing the course of the world. And that's true. And what Esdras was told by the Lord, once he heard this word, the earth is going to shake a bit. Because they understand that when this word is spoken and happen, the earth go undergo a change. And that's what it's doing. This word being spoken is shaking things up. You see? But I'm going to end it right there. Hey, just like in Ezekiel 7, how it says when the Israelites came together and the Holy Spirit went across the four winds, it says, behold, there was a shaking. Right? That's what this message is doing. But hey, with that, Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushai, Bahashim Rachakwadash, and double honors unto the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, as well as the men that taught them, and peace and blessings to all you Akim out there who pushing his word with all truth and sincerity, and as well as to all you believers out there who believe in the gospel. You keep fighting, keep pushing. We're almost out here. Oh, so, like, I ain't even see this last part of the verse. I'll read it again now. Isaiah 42, 44, and 26, that confirmeth the word of his servant and performeth the counsel of his messengers, that saith to the city of Jerusalem, thou shalt be inhabited, and to the cities of Judah you shall be built, and I will raise up the decayed places. So our word will come to pass. The world is changing because of what we saying, and what we saying is what the Lord got planned anyway. So, hey, with that, shalom. The water for tuning in, shalom.